Firstly, what is a pension? Pensions are simply a tax wrapper. They're a tax efficient way for you to save for your retirement. The beauties of a pension are the fact that you get tax relief on the way in, tax relief during, inside the pot, and you only are charged income tax at your marginal rate during retirement. And the hope is that you'd be a lower taxpayer when you're actually retired rather than in your final years when you're working. We've all heard of the state pension, and to be eligible for this we need 35 qualifying years of national insurance contributions. The other main types of pension are DC occupational pensions, DC personal pensions, and DB final salary schemes. DC and DB, they stand for two separate things. One is defined contribution and one is defined benefit. What that means is they're worked out in slightly different ways for members' benefits. Defined contribution, which is the most popular arrangement, is simply whatever you put in plus investment growth is your pot. It's worked out on an individual basis. On the DB side of things, it's a lot harder and trickier to work out, and actually they're a lot more rare. These are actually seen as the gold standard of pensions, and for reasons that we touched on in another video, but pretty much they are indexed. Anybody can contribute to a pension. Simply they would have to open up a wrapper and set up a direct debit or pay in ad hoc amounts. How do you contribute to a pension? Well, it's pretty simple. You either set one up personally and you can pay into that as you would any other account via direct debit or ad hoc payments. If it's a workplace pension set up through your employer, it's slightly different. Usually this would be done by your employer automatically and it'd be a set percentage from your salary. Why do we save in pensions? Well, one day we will want to stop working, or we will actually be forced to stop working. And this is supposed to give you an income in retirement. What that might look like to you is very different and very individual, but it's still an important thing we need to do. If we were to look onto the ONS's life expectancy calculated today, a 25-year-old male is expected to live to 86 years of age, and a female 89. And a 25-year-old male has a 25% chance of living to 94, and a female 97. So we're expected to live for quite a long time. State pension doesn't kick in until 68 years of age. And as life expectancy increases, we can expect that date to increase also. And that's why we need to save privately. My top tips would be always match your employer contributions, ask for salary sacrifice if this is available, and start early. The reason I say start early is that money compounds over time. Just to show you how powerful compound interest can be, is why I'm saying start early. I have a brief example for you. If a 20-year-old wanted to save £200 per month for retirement over a 48-year time horizon to take him to 68, he could expect to have a pot of around £460,000. That's assuming a 5% growth rate, which we feel is pretty modest. If a 40-year-old decided to do the same thing at the age of 40, to get the same pot, £460,000, he'd have to save £644 a month. As you can see, that's quite a large jump, and it really does show the effects of compound interest. In that time frame, even though it's smaller, he's actually going to end up investing another £100,000 compared to the 20-year-old. So again, he's actually paid in a lot more money to get the same amount of final pot. I think if salary sacrifice is an option at work, it's the best way to save for retirement. Effectively, you give up a portion of your salary for good, so there's something to take into account, and you don't pay income tax or national insurance contributions on this, and it goes directly to your pension. Employers, only some, might actually be happy to pay in their savings on national insurance too, so therefore you can be pounds and pence richer each month and actually have some extra from them as well. A big talking point around the state pension is, will it last? So how it works is the current workers in the UK, the people paying national insurance contributions, actually fund the retirement payments that go out to the pensioners in the UK. And with the ageing population, how long is this possible? Currently the government spends 8.4% of GDP to cover that gap, to compensate the ageing population, and that's said to increase to 11.4% by 2050. So is it really sustainable? And should we bank on having a state pension when we retire? I think it's really important to understand where you will be in retirement and what retirement looks like to you. Obviously, as a young guy or girl at home, it's quite hard to picture what you're going to be doing when you've got no hair or grey hairs and you're old and fragile. But it's a really good idea to start thinking about what you want. The state pension's only going to pay currently £9,300 per annum. Most of us today would look at that and think, how are we going to survive? Obviously there's costs and different factors to take into account, but this is really why we need to save privately into our pensions to ensure that when we get to retirement, we're living the life we want to live. With auto-enrolment, most people in the UK that are working do have a pension. However, there were those that opted out. Everyone has their own reasons, but I really think that you should reconsider this. The point is, you're only giving money to yourself, albeit your future self, and you will be a lot older. Money that you miss now over time really is insignificant because it's going to be in your back pocket one day. If you feel you don't have a pension arrangement set up, I would speak to your employer first of all, speak to a financial professional, or go online and set one up yourself. It can be quite simple. Thank you for watching, guys. I hope you found this useful, and please drop a comment in the comment section and let us know any other videos you'd like to see.